Welcome to the Keychain Podcast, where every key tells a story.
I'm Matt.
I'm Mish.
And we're giving you an inside look at the people, the partners, and the purpose behind the Matt Harnick real estate team. Today, we are very pleased to introduce our really good friend, Chris Fiore of Fiore and Barber Law Firm. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We're so excited.
So I've known Chris for a long time. Mish has known him for a while as well. Yep. Not only is he our office's official attorney, but additionally, well, actually, I'll let Chris get into his practice, et cetera. But, I've known Chris probably now, I would say it's got to be like, 13, 14 years?
Yeah.
We go back.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a long time.
Long time. Lots of stories, lots of things, I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, thanks for being here today. We look forward to talking to you a little more about what you do and, bringing some of that to our audience here.
Yeah.
Terrific. Thank you. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Mish?
Me? On
Sure.
me?
Yeah,
right.
You can go.
I'll go. Let's start it. So tell us a little bit more about yourself before we get into what exactly you do.
Sure. Start from the beginning. I was born in upstate New York, where I lived till I was 15. A town called Kingston. My dad got promoted when I was 15, and we moved down here to Collegeville. Was a big change because in Kingston, where I lived, all my family had grown up, cousins. I mean, homeroom was like half of my family.
It must have been nice. Well, cool. Nice, but not.
Yeah, but somebody always had your back.
Yeah.
And I moved down here to a totally strange area. But it was really good because 4 years later, I graduated from high school and I went to Drexel, and I could walk on campus and meet people. Because I had to do it when I was younger. So it was one of those things where it was a good life lesson that was uncomfortable as a 15, 16-year-old, but
Sure.
it came in handy right after that. Went to Drexel, graduated from Drexel, went to law school at Pace University School of Law in White Plains, New York. Practiced in New York for a short period of time, and then got a great opportunity down here in Pennsylvania. Came down, took the job, passed the bar, and I've been here ever since.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, at one point, my family always told me I was going to go into law, and I was like, I'm sure you get this all the time. I'm not shark enough to do that. Like, I'm spunky, but I'm not, like, let's go after some people. So what do you take on that rumor of having to be a shark and be a lawyer?
You do.
Yeah.
All
right,
and
fair.
Just cut it to the close. There you go. Absolutely.
You do, in that no matter what your expectation is, or no matter what your self prophecy is as to how you want to practice law, the opposition's not going to keep up with it. For some reason, because this is such a negative field, everybody feels like they have to be negative and aggressive and ugly. It's very rare that you can have a case and go through it and not get into that. Mm-hmm. You have to, at some point, no matter what your wishes are, you have to go and cut somebody's throat. Yeah. You have to at least try to do that, because if you don't, the other side is going to try to embarrass you and cut your throat. So no matter what your expectations are, no matter how you plan on doing it, it's impossible, in that it's just the business.
And how do you do that? Because I mean, we know you as a very positive, upbeat, smiling, person. How do you like reconcile that? That's got to be interesting.
It's like a switch that flips when you like walk in the courtroom.
Yes, to both of your questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm a happy person. I will walk in and I will treat you with respect. I'll be nice, but I'm also an athlete and I'm very competitive. Mm. So when the game is on, in my mind, anything is justified to win. Legally, I'm not going to go,
obviously.
make up or forge stuff. But once the lights are on, I play the game. I play the game very hard. And at the end of the game, I'll come over and shake your hand and I'll say, good job. If you carry it after that, that's on you. I don't. There's not many times where I walk out and I'm still angry with the other side. I did my job. I shook your hand. I'll shake your hand and it's over. Yeah. But if you don't do that, and you can't succeed. It's just the field.
Yeah.
No, and I've had the opportunity to see Chris in the courtroom a few times. Unfortunately, not because I did anything wrong. Just landlord-tenant court stuff. Just typical that kind of stuff. But I know what you mean. It's like we go in there, and beforehand we're kind of like talking jokes, and then talking strategy and stuff, and then during it's like a whole different persona. And then afterwards, so you want to grab lunch? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it gets like that. I mean, for me to be able to do how I do it,
Yeah.
I have to be emotionally committed. I can't do it. I can't do what I do and just say, I'm going to go out and do it today. Like, if I represent you, you and I are a team.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out and fight that person like they're fighting you. And if I can't get emotionally behind my client, a lot of times I have to fire that client.
Wow.
Because if I can't invest myself and I don't have emotions involved in it, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I can't then get into it and flip that switch if I don't like you as much as the other side doesn't like you.
That makes sense. I think that says a lot about Chris's character, right? Is that if you are not standing by who you're representing, then you have to be okay with saying, this isn't a good fit. I think you need to find other representation.
Yeah.
And
we do that too.
We do the same thing. So it's nice when you've got a team, and we've worked as a team before.
Absolutely.
So it's nice when you've got a team behind you in order to get to your end result. And especially if we decide, or you decide, hey, we're not a good fit, you're in the same boat and say,
cut the losses, cut the cord.
Let's not go here, you know? And that says a lot about who you are.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I mean, you don't get there like day one. My partner and I, we would take everything, you know, and you quickly realize, you know, when it's bad. And you're never going to make it better. It's never going to work. It's always going to be ugly, and you're never going to get what you expected, and they're never going to get what they're expected. So I just as easily hear somebody else's name, good luck.
Yeah.
It makes my life better and easier, and it allows me to do my job the way I want to do it. But thank you for the compliment.
I mean, I think anytime you're a fiduciary and you have a fiduciary responsibility to your client, you have to be able to commit to it or just not do it.
Right.
And again, as Mish said, we've had to do that.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to be.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have a question for you that's actually been, I just remembered that I've been meaning to ask you this. So we know the Fiore half of Fiore Barber.
Yes.
Who's Barber?
That's a good question. My partner is Eamon Barber III. Because he is the third, he was called Trip, then Tip. So everybody knows him as Tip Barber.
Okay.
Tip and I met Tip. We both started working for a firm together. He had been there for a few years, and I worked there. We worked there for 8 or 9 years together. We actually bought a house at the shore and flipped it together at one point and realized we could work together. And the firm we were working for was going through a transition that we weren't comfortable with.
Okay.
And we both decided this is the time. He had a 1-year-old. I had a 6-month-old. We believed we could build a better mousetrap. And I was in a position, he has his own story, but I was in a position where I was trying to grow something that I couldn't do it without my name on the sign.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
we put that all together. We had a conversation. We said, let's do it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he lives up in Lehigh County, so his clientele are more Lansdale, Harleysville, and above, and I'm kind of down below.
And how long how long has there been a Fiore and Barber?
Yeah, that we've had this since September of 2018. So we're going. Yeah, we're going along.
Wow. Okay. I go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you've opened the door now for us to start talking about your practice and kind of what you focus on when it comes to the legal field, because we all know there are a multitude of levels that you can practice when you go into law.
Yeah.
So what would you say are your fortes?
Okay. That's a great question. In the beginning, it was everything. It was anything that we could do to keep the lights on and the door closed, which was a great opportunity to get vast experience in different things and then try to figure out which ones fit you. I focus my practice on real estate, wills and estates, and litigation.
Okay.
And it's probably, most of the year, it's probably a third, and a third. Sometimes it's a little bit more of one and a little bit less of the other. But a lot of times they're intermingled, and they cover the same thing. You get the same client that's got this deal, and then they want to update their documents, and all of a sudden somebody sues them or they need to sue somebody else.
Sure.
I was just going to ask, how many times do you have one that goes in multiple buckets? And it sounds like that happens pretty often.
Yeah, and I'm proud of that.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I'm really
Sure.
proud of that. I mean, a lot of times the simplest one of our cases that makes us, I hate to make it about money, but that makes us the least amount of money. The person gets comfortable, really comfortable, and uses this phrase that I love. Can I call you our family lawyer? Or can I use you for my business? Or can I use you for this? And I love that.
That's great.
That's a success story to me. And they do. They call the neighbor, they call mom and dad, they do this at work, and then they buy a business, or they get a divorce and they need somebody to handle, some aspect of real estate or something, and they stay. And a lot of, my daughters laugh at me because they'll say, who was that on a phone call when I'm on a phone call, and I'll say, that's so-and-so. And they'll say, client or friend? And I go, well, both.
There's a line
Right,
there.
both.
We're kind of crossing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I try to do that. I try to do that because everybody can find a lawyer. We're like Starbucks. We're like Starbucks. You turn the corner, there's a law firm. Some buildings, there's 2 or 3.
You're talking to real estate agents.
Yep.
We get it.
Right.
We understand.
So there's got to be something that distinguishes you. So one, I'm a people person in that I like to get to know stuff about people. 2, that comes in really handy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I've sat in the hall and talked to somebody before we go into a hearing, and during the hearing something pops up and I have personal information about them that I slide right in, and all of a sudden it shifts the case.
Yeah.
Because the judges are human beings too, and
Absolutely.
you go and you don't know what the person's kids' names are, and I know what their kids' names are, and I go, well, Matthew and Josh said this. I know your kids aren't Matthew and Josh, but
That's okay. It's a good example, though.
just picking names.
Yeah.
They did this as opposed to your children.
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference, and I don't do it always for that reason, but I do it just because it interests me. So there's that fine line.
Yeah. Tell everybody here, what was it? I actually think I know the answer to this. I think we've talked about it a few times. What was it that made you want to get into law?
That's kind of funny, and it's a two-pronged answer. The first answer was a push, not the impetus, but a push was when I graduated from college and wasn't drafted to play Major League Baseball.
That'll do it every day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a history of political science degree and no job, and it was 1994, and we were in somewhat of a recession. So somebody said, you got a big mouth and you like to fight. Why don't you go to law school?
That's funny.
So that was,
here.
that was a part of it. But really the biggest part was when I was a senior in high school, my family and I were on a Sunday night. We're in the house, and an airplane hit our house. Single-engine Cessna airplane hit our house.
I think I have heard this, yeah.
Destroying a whole corner of our house, not knowing all this. Everybody was okay. Pilot was okay. But the litigation that came after that and the settlement that came after that left a very bad taste in my mouth. My family hired a lawyer. They knew him. This wasn't his specialty. He got an amount of money that should have made us okay. The pilot, who hired the predominant aviation lawyer, said, come with us. We'll all go in together and we'll sue Cessna because there was a problem with the plane. Our attorney was like, take the money. It's not going to work. Well, that attorney hits and bankrupts Cessna.
My God.
So the pilot who hit your house profited more than the victims of the plane hitting the house.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
And
Jesus.
I swore that I was never going to be in that situation again. And I swore that I was going to make sure that other people who wanted that from somebody would have somebody that wouldn't be like that. So when you put those two things together, it was kind of like the perfect storm to say,
this is where I'm going.
You don't shut up, and you have a chip on your shoulder. Go to law school.
I'm telling you, the chips on shoulders, man, they will take you further in life than most places.
Absolutely.
If you've got
So
something
true.
that is like turned your life upside down, to all of the parents out there with like kids going off to college and they're not sure what they want to do, look for that little like edge that they've got and build upon that, because I promise you amazing things will come from that.
100%.
I mean, look at Chris.
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's insane.
You look, and I always look at it like this, like physical or emotional scars. You can do two things with it. You can complain about them, or you can use them.
Yeah.
And that's up to you.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's what kind of got me on the road. It was a winding road. I went to PACE with the expectation of being an environmental lawyer. I thought it sounded so cool. It was a newer thing at the time. And then when I started to get into it and I started to intern, I realized the people who were doing the right thing made no money.
Yeah.
And the people who protected the polluters made the money.
Yeah.
And I'm going there on student loans. So what am I going to do? Am I
Right,
going to live?
exactly.
Am I going to live a life of renting an apartment in upstate New York, sharing it with roommates my entire life, or am I going to have a family and a house and things like that? Am I going to call a Keller Williams and find a house? Kind of thing. And so I quickly switched and said, I can't do this area of law. It might interest me, but I can't do it. And then I quickly said, you know what? I'm going to do any type of litigation I can, get in front of people, perform, do my thing, and then
Get those bright lights
right.
and really turn your spark on.
Right. And then, then you get into things that interest you, like real estate and helping people and stuff like that. And then you say, if you have the choice, you then say, this is what I want to do. And that's kind of where we got.
And you've been in law for a while now, obviously.
Yeah.
How has the legal profession changed over the last 5, 10, 15 years even? I'm sure there's been changes.
Yeah, it's changed so much. I mean, just like the world. First of all, when I started, everybody's idea and mission was join a big firm. Join a big firm, go for 5 years. If you don't make partner, you still made a ton of money. There are no big firms anymore.
Yeah.
Especially in Philadelphia. They've all broken up. So big law is gone. That idea is gone. That's changed.
Why do you think that? Is there any particular reason for it, or economics or otherwise?
I don't know. I think it's part of it is economics.
Yep.
Part of it is the fact that people younger than me don't want that lifestyle. It used to be a badge of honor.
Huh.
The rule used to be you have to be in as a 1 or 2 year. You have to be in before any partner arrives, and you can't leave before a partner leaves. The last partner leaves. So what they would do is they would stagger. One partner would come in at 6. The other one wouldn't come in at 1, but would leave at 11. Okay. So you're
keeping everyone there.
Right. Yeah. So you're supposed to be there. And then you'd get called into the office, and they would discuss your rolling 20s. Which is your rolling 20 days, how many billables do you have? And it's all about this number.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about the client, and nobody's talking about your case, and nobody's talking about your health. Yeah. It's this rolling 20s and your billables. And are you going to hit 1,800? If you get to 2,000, we'll think about making you a partner. People started saying, you know what, I don't need this. I don't need this.
Yeah.
So that was a part of it. A lot of the older lawyers died off, retired. The law changed. I mean, people started to realize they don't need that big name, a lot of people. And then lastly, COVID.
Oh, sure. No, that makes sense.
I mean, between working from home, Zoom court.
Yeah. Zoom court.
Yeah. I can't imagine what that was like.
Hate it. Horrific. Still,
tell me how you really feel.
Still happens. It's terrible. And it's terrible because the technology was and still is not perfect.
Yeah.
No.
And it gives people wiggle room. If I sit in a courtroom with you and I ask you a question and you don't answer it, everybody sees you wiggling and not answering. What they do on Zoom is go, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Now they get more time, and then the judge says,
to formulate their
right.
answer.
Now the judge says, hold on, let me check the levels. Everything, okay, back on. Can you reread the question? You're now 7 minutes in, and you've lost all the momentum of your cross-examination. Now they go, oh, the answer's 2.
In person, you can't hide.
You can't do
hide.
it. Right, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Wow.
And the other thing
I
is...
didn't even think of that aspect of it.
Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot. A lot of people have transitioned to doing depositions all by Zoom, and I won't do it.
No.
Yeah.
Because I want to put the document in front of you, and I just had one last week that he's like, let's do it by Zoom. I had documents that I was going to fry this woman with. And when I put it in front of her, I fried her.
Yeah.
But she was, oh, I don't have that one. Which one is that? How do I get, I don't have that one. Can you show me what line are you looking at again? That's what she would have done on Zoom.
Yeah.
And she would have been thinking the entire time, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this?
Takes all the momentum and all the wind out of the sails.
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes the creativity, it takes the professional part of this job away.
Wow.
So I try to avoid it. But that was a big deal. It was really hard for me, but it was also really opening for me because in that period of time, my top 10 corporate clients, 5 of them sold or closed in COVID.
Wow.
They either sold their business or they closed. So I had to find 5 new top clients.
It's like redoing your business plan all over again.
As you're sitting there and can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
But the good part of that was a handful of people that I knew couldn't get responses, couldn't get updates from their law firm. So they called me and said, you're sending me updates. You don't charge me. You're sending me updates on PPP. You're sending me updates on what to do with employees. You're charging me what to do with this. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? So I picked up people that were like, I'm paying $600 an hour over here and they won't answer. And you're sending me this stuff. Will you do it for X amount of dollars? So I picked up some at the same time.
Stay in contact. And a simple provide value. We talk about this all the time. All the time. If you just provide a small chunk of value, it's going to go way further than talking about, in our business, commission. We don't even mention that word because we want to be value-based.
Yep.
So to hear that that's exactly how you retooled yourself in COVID, fantastic.
Yeah.
You were ahead of the curve.
I don't know about that. I don't. So. Well, thank you. I couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what things were doing and simply saying, I bet other people are doing it too. You know, my kids were going to Zoom school, so what was I going to do? I had to do something. I saw business just literally falling down or falling out and figured I had to at least try to do that. And retool was a good word. Yeah. I did. But I love the value added. I say that Matt and I have talked about this a lot. But value added for me is everything. Like I say to everybody, send me your smallest case. Don't send me your biggest to hire me. Send me your smallest. See what I do. Yeah. See the value that I add. See the connections I'm going to make. I had somebody send me something yesterday and asked me, could I look at this 2-page document? They just wanted to be sure. I sent them a 4-page memo, but I only billed them for the review, which was really short because I said, here's what I think you need to know when you're doing this.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, my God, we didn't even ask you that. We knew 2 or 3 of these things, but we asked, some of these other things are really helpful because to me that builds that. Yeah. It builds that trust, and that's really what I look for. And the 3 of us, I know we all do this, is relish the connector.
Yes.
100.
Relish the connector job of people coming to us, even if it's not what we do, to connect people because that shows their trust in us. And then hopefully the other connector remembers us back as well.
That's exactly right. They'll remember. They'll go, oh, they referred me to this. You need an attorney. Let me connect you to Chris.
Right. I think the value is extremely understated in the connection. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We do that day in and day out. We all do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I talk about one of my favorite value adds that you gave us lately? So one of the cool things about being in our office is we have Education Tuesdays. And I don't know if it was a Tuesday that you were actually here or if we had bumped it to another day of the week, but Chris actually came in and taught a class on everything. I think you talked about estates, you talked about wills, and kind of covered the gambit. The thing that stood out to me, and I said this to you, I think as soon as you said it, my jaw was like, oh my gosh. We've got something in common at this table is that we've all got kids that are either in college. My nephew's moving in today. You've got one going to school soon.
Yes.
One of the biggest value adds I had was a POA for college students.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why is that so important? And I sat there and he explained it to me. And I'd love for you, because we've got plenty of people out here who've
college age kids
that what happens if you get hurt on campus?
Yeah, I mean,
Especially if they're not a minor any longer.
Correct. If they've turned 18, they're an adult.
Yep.
right. Once they are 18, HIPAA law does not allow somebody to release that information to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So your child falls down, gets drunk, passes out, whatever, and is in the hospital, you don't have any rights. You don't have the right to find anything else. Unless you have a power of attorney.
Boom,
unless you have a power of attorney.
Right.
And you know, there's some services out there. There's something called Mama Bear or something like that. But they're not. My understanding from in certain states, they're not even true legal documents. Wow. They're recommendations about here's what I'd want as a kid, and you're handwriting stuff in, which is not a legal document.
Yep.
So I did it for my daughter. She was very freaked out doing them.
I did it for Josh.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I've done them for a lot of people because you can't imagine if something would go wrong and then you couldn't get any information.
Yeah, I think about it. I mean, I tell this story to all the time is that I had an allergic reaction when I was in college. The doctor didn't have to tell my dad anything. Luckily, you know, if it got to that point, he was willing to kind of say, yeah, okay, you're away from home. We can do this. But he didn't have to.
Right.
Luckily, I was okay, and we figured it out without having to do that, and I could call my dad later and be like, hey, guess what? I'm allergic to the same thing my mom was. Isn't this fun? But had it been worse, my roommate would have been, for lack of a better word, screwed, because she would have been sitting there, and my dad would have been, I can't help. So it's really nice to know that that's an option for these kids that are going, even if you're going 30 minutes away, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter how far.
It doesn't matter.
It does not. And in today's world with mental illness awareness and the stress these kids are under, I mean, you put somebody, my daughter's 4.5 hours away, you put something there and the stress gets to her. Without these documents, I'm driving down and just standing outside, waiting for her to be released. So yeah, they're very, very important. Yeah. Very, very important, and you'd be very happy you have it in place if it happens. Knock on wood that it doesn't happen.
Correct.
But you'd be very, very.
And I think it's smart that we don't wait to do wills and estate planning.
Oh,
because they are, one falls under the other, right? It's not, or it's an and. I think it's smart that we don't wait until it's too late to fill those out.
That's a great point, and you hit on that very, very well. I'm gonna have to give you a star for that.
Thank you.
I mean, a lot of people call me and say I want to do a will, and I say I really don't do wills. I do estate planning.
Yeah.
Because if you don't coordinate all the parts, it's like building the left side of the house.
Yep.
Without
the
right.
Without the right.
You really are. So you really have to coordinate. I mean, and people think that's the code word for, here comes the used car salesman. Most of the stuff in estate planning you do on your own. Yeah. We just talk about it to make sure that you have it all coordinated. But yeah, having those documents, everybody says, do I need it? And my answer is are you 18? And they say, yes. You need it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it. Those core documents are not necessitated on economics, race, religion, anything like that. You're 18. You need those.
So what would you recommend to those same parents that are doing a POA for their college kids who have, a kid who's, formerly an adult over 18? Same thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anybody who has a child over 18, if they're going to college or anything like that, you need a POA. Today's world is very restrictive for what everybody can do legally.
And what about the estate planning, the will, et cetera, for their kids who are?
That depends. Does your child have some wealth? Are you worried about things like that? Mm-hmm. Are you worried about? I mean, my daughter, she's using most of her money to go to college, and we're using it. So if, God forbid, somebody's child would pass away and there's not significant estate, anything under $50,000, it would pass through intestate. You're not really paying a ton of taxes, and it's not that big of a deal. But if your child has a trust, if your child has a job, if your child worked and maybe even has like a 529 or an IRA or something like that, definitely get a will done.
Yeah.
Definitely get a will done. We're not talking thousands of dollars the way we do them. And I don't say the way we do them, meaning we give you a cheap document. I mean, we don't. There's people out there that are going to charge $2,500 to do a will, $5,000 to do a will. And they're going to say you need all this stuff. We don't do that for most people. We look at it and we have what we call a simple. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it's called simple, much like a simple IRA, meaning it's not complicated.
Right.
We do those documents to make sure everybody's protected.
And how often do you recommend, whether they're your clients or someone else who's maybe not your client, who wants a will or an estate review, how often do you recommend that people do that? Is it life changes? Is it every so many years?
Great question, because
Yeah.
we covered this in our education
We
thing,
did.
and I loved it.
Yeah. The answer to that is yes, to everything you said. I tell all my clients this. When they come to me, I charge a flat fee to create the document. And then I tell them, if nothing changes, we are going to talk every 5 years and just see where everything is.
Okay.
That's no charge. If you ever make any changes,
Say that again.
that
bears repeating.
that is no charge. If
Yeah.
you make any changes, it's never going to be more than $50, no matter how many times you change it.
Okay.
In those 5 years, you have a life change. You have a divorce. You have a death. You have a disability. The law changes or your circumstance change up or down. Call. It's a free consultation. We're going to look at it and see what changes. A few years ago, major changes to powers of attorney and to advanced medical directives.
Yep.
Send out an email. A lot of people came in. We made changes to make sure they're updated. So the answer is it's a living document.
Okay.
It's no longer what I was used to was grandma had a will in an old shoebox in the top of the
top of the
closet.
Yep. Or in a
And-
safety deposit box at the bank.
Right.
Like, that's what it used to be.
So
yeah.
we had a will. No, this will is a will.
Yeah.
And what I do is, and I tell people to do this, and it's kind of cheesy, but my day every year is New Year's Day.
Okay.
Used to be, it started with college football because it would start at 11 and go all night. And my then wife would take my kids and go to her mother's for the pork and the sauerkraut and that kind of tradition. But that's my day.
Yeah.
I order a everything pizza. And I
The
watch
process is just fascinating.
I know. I know. So everything pizza.
everything pizza. I watch football. I pull out my will, my living will, my power of attorney. I pull out my corporate documents, and I pull out my life insurance. And I check every single one. And I say, new day, new year. What do I, excuse me, what do I need to change or do I need to change? At the same time, if I have to change, I do my corporate minutes. I do all these things to check all the boxes. And maybe I call my financial advisor. Maybe I call our friend, the life insurance salesman, and say, I need to change this, or I forgot to update this. But that's what I do. But that's my recommendation is these documents are not ancestral documents. They're living documents that have to be looked at. And this area does change.
I love setting a day. Like, I'm a huge planner. If you haven't figured that out yet, I love to, like, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't happen, right? So to set aside a day and have just, this is my day to go through all of this stuff. My husband and I have a day that we literally sit down in usually like October, November, and anything that we know that's coming up for the following year, I put in my new planner. That way I can look at it and say, here's what we've got going on personally, so that when we do our team advance, I can look at the calendar and go, okay, here's when we need to have certain things done. Here's when our events are going to be for the year. How can we pair them up with the things that we know we've got going on? So if that date's already on the calendar, I can go to Matt, hey, I'm not around this day. Don't even bother trying to talk to me.
As Jane, as my wife is watching this right now, whenever that is, I'm in trouble.
Big time. Her and I have the same brain, so
right.
we work
That's right.
very well together.
There's a day being picked right now.
I believe it, and it'll be on our calendar too, so I'll know not to bother you.
There you go.
I got you covered. Awesome. Well, is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to jump into?
Sure. I'd love to talk about the fact that Matt suggested me, and ultimately I was selected to be a representative, an affiliate of Keller Williams. That was thankful for Matt to do that. But for those of you who do not know, Keller Williams was looking for an affiliate attorney to be available for the three offices, Bluebell, Horsham, and Montgomeryville, North Penn, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And there was a process, there was an interview process and so forth, and the symmetry of the ideas of Keller Williams and what Fiore and Barber and me personally do made it fit so well. And it's one of the reasons that I cherish it and appreciate it is a lot of the same ideas flow back and forth with customers and clients and business practices and follow-up and, you know, attitude and training and all those things that I see here. Some of them I take. I out and out steal the ideas that I hear you guys talking about.
Why not?
R&D it. Go for it.
Right. And other ones, I just smile because it's so incongruence that we're on the same page, especially Team Harnick. That we're on the same page with how we do stuff, how we approach stuff, how we see stuff. That it really is a cherished relationship, that one that I think works really well.
I would say that it's definitely, you know, same goes. We are very lucky and very thankful to have you.
100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No question.
I love being able, if a client has a question about something, I love being able to say, give me 10 minutes, let me call Chris real quick.
Yep.
And within half hour, 45 minutes, I've got my answer. Sometimes it doesn't even take that long. Sometimes if he's got a break and he gets back right away. And it just makes us look like total rock stars because we've got someone who understands and is so compassionate, especially in some of the situations we've dealt with over the last year. It took a lot of compassion and a lot of like deep breaths sometimes to get through, because some of these situations are pretty delicate when you start talking about estates and short sales and all of those things. You gotta walk on eggshells a little bit, and to have the team together and show a united front to our clients, it was a phenomenal experience. And I think they can all say that they were so appreciative of all of us being on the same page, and it didn't feel like it was a fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's funny because, I mean, we've never actually verbalized this, you and I, but when I call Chris sometimes on the phone, I'm like, hey, consigliere. Because if you go back to the Godfather movies, Robert Duvall was not just Marlon Brando's, you know, the Godfather's attorney. He was his trusted advisor and friend. So when I call you consigliere, that's what I mean.
I appreciate that.
I figured probably
I appreciate that.
We've never talked about that, so why not bring it out on the podcast for the very first time?
Yeah, and I've used the word a couple times, but I cherish that as well because anybody can give the answer.
Yeah.
Anybody can give the answer. I have always said when I started out, one of the things that was most complained about, and I had to deal with cleaning up a lot, was the lack of responsiveness and lack of phone calls.
Yeah.
Too many people in my profession don't want to deal with it. You know, you get to the end of the day, you don't want to deal with it one more time. But that's a way for me to distinguish myself. Yeah. And for Keller Williams, for Team Harnick, I get those calls. I get them on the Friday nights. I get them on the Saturday mornings because guess what? Problems don't happen between 9 to 5.
Correct.
Problems don't happen.
Trust me.
I think we said that twice this week. It was like a late night thing, and we were like, okay.
And it usually began with, Mish, I am really sorry.
It really did. And thankfully, I'm sure your family's in the same boat. They understand. They get to an extent.
Oh, absolutely.
To an extent, right?
Absolutely.
As long as it's not happening every night for like 3 weeks straight, we're good. But if it's like a once in a life, not once in a life, but like once in a time thing where you just go, honey, I'm really sorry. I just have to take this real quick.
And
that's how it goes.
And that's what I do. And you know what? As I explained to my kids when I started this when I was young, and I explained to my significant other, hello, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
As I explained to her, running your own business or being independent contractors like you, it's like having a child.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You do not say, I'm off the clock.
Yeah.
So the answer is you pick up the phone, you say, I can't talk right now. Can we pick a time later? Yep. Or you listen to it and go through it, and everybody is used to it.
Yep.
I don't do it, I'll silence the phone during my daughter's birthday party or, graduation or things like that.
Just,
right.
Yeah.
Sure. But otherwise, I'll say, I'll say, can I give you a call back?
Yeah.
And I don't leave calls from day to day.
Yeah.
I finish the calls for that day. Somebody gets that response, even if it's putting them on the calendar for the next day.
Yeah. It's at least a response of some sort.
Yep.
I love that. We do the same thing.
Yep.
We don't want to let someone go 24 hours without a response.
Right.
That to me is, I don't want to use the word irresponsible, but I think
It is.
It is. And I think it's a little disrespectful to the client, right? Because they are trusting you to get them through the process, through the case, whatever it might be. Just to say, hey, I'm so sorry that I missed your call. I really can't talk right now, but can I get you on at 9 a.m. tomorrow?
Yeah.
And they're going to go,
Of course.
thank you for calling. I really appreciate it. Yes, we can talk then. Or 9 doesn't work. Does noon work? Yes, let's make that. It's on my calendar right now.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It takes, 5 minutes?
Yeah. And I'm sure the same is with you. Some people take advantage.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
I work. So can I talk to you at 10 o'clock at night?
No.
No, because I work too, and I fall asleep, and I wake up
asleep.
early, right?
Yeah.
And I wake up early,
Yeah.
but I figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But in a nice way. In a nice way.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, that's part of it.
It's part of the job.
Yeah,
It's
you
part
don't
of
want
doing
my
business.
answer at 10 o'clock because it's snoring and spitting because I'm out.
Sorry, this is not going to make much sense right now. Can't we do this
Especially
another
when
time?
you're talking about the law
Right,
or real
like,
estate. It's
yeah.
like, I got to be fresh for this
Right,
conversation.
yeah.
Because I've had sometimes, I'm sure you guys too, where I'm half asleep, not sure if I'm dreaming, and I feel like I've had this epiphany, and I dictate it. And then in the morning, I look at it and I go,
What
is this gibberish?
Yep.
This doesn't even make any sense.
I have
What-
a sticky
So
pad next to my
Right.
bed, and like when I think of stuff, I write it down, and then I'll go back to sleep, and I'll wake up the next morning,
Right.
and I'm like,
I
"Is it the heart? Is that an eye?" I'm like,
I'll
"What
go
is
you
that?"
one better. I do voice memos.
Oh yeah, no.
Dude, that is the like freakiest thing. Like, what am I saying?
Right.
If it's bad enough to read it, imagine hearing it.
Right.
Ugh.
So yeah,
That should be an outtake one time. Just all of our like random messages to like, what is this? What is that?
Clip it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You know what it's time for.
My favorite part of the
It
episode.
is your favorite time.
I love this.
I'm going to
We're-
let you do this.
Yes, we are going to do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Now, my favorite part of this is no one gets these in advance, so it's really like
Not even
you
me.
got to think of it on the spot. You ready?
Great.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Absolute early bird.
Yes, everybody is coming to my side, and I love it. I say it every episode. Favorite local restaurant?
Ooh.
This one stumps people.
I don't eat. Strangely,
I don't eat.
I don't eat.
I don't eat out around
Okay.
here a lot
Okay.
because
Doesn't have to be here.
I like to cook. So a lot of times when I eat out, it's down where my significant other lives in
Yeah.
Langhorne.
Okay.
So we like the Yardley Inn,
Yeah.
which is where we had our first date. So,
So
I would say the Yardley
cute.
Inn.
I love that. Dream vacation.
I would love to try to go to China and see the Great Wall,
Ooh.
or I would love to go back to Portugal. I went to Portugal,
Ah.
and it was really amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really amazing. So those two would probably be on my list.
Those are we haven't had those yet, so that's awesome. iPhone or Android?
iPhone,
No green texts from Chris.
We love it. Podcast or playlist?
playlist. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I listen to way more podcasts than playlists. Yeah.
Okay.
Jim is really the only time I listen to a playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know you can put podcasts on a playlist?
Yes.
Okay.
See?
Yes.
See, I'm the only one that did.
See? Dogs or cats?
Dog. Allergic to cats.
So am I.
Same.
Go-to hype song.
Go-to hype song. All of the Lights by, is that Kanye?
I think it
I
is
think
Yay. All
I-
of the lights.
Yeah.
Da-na-na. That one?
yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, that's a good one for
That's a
me.
good one. Hidden talent.
Hidden talent. I'm a very good cook.
Okay.
Okay.
I can cook. I've taught myself to cook. I can cook and smoke and bake. I do a pretty good job. My kids really appreciate my meals. My Gina appreciates my meals. My parents,
Gina.
My
I love
Gina.
that. My
I
Gina.
love that.
my parents, I think, appreciate my meals. I like to cook, so I think being
You can hear the passion come out when you
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I like it. And the funny thing is everybody gets mad because I don't like have a go-to. Like I
Yeah.
make something and I want to try something else.
Okay.
I don't like to go back to the same thing.
Why would you?
Right,
Would
I
you
like to
would
try-
you recreate it? Like if you made one dish, would you try to like make something similar but with a different edge
Like a
to it?
twist?
I can't. I
Yeah.
have tried that.
Okay.
I got in a smoker a few years ago, a couple years before Matt,
Yeah.
and one of the first things I tried was a 4-cheese smoked mac and cheese, and like my kids flipped out fighting over like licking the bowl, and my parents loved it.
Yeah.
So since I've tried like
Okay.
try adding sausage, try adding ground beef, try different cheeses.
I'm gonna have to get that recipe from you.
Yeah, Gina loves queso, so we're trying a queso chorizo 4-cheese mac and cheese. Maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend.
If some happens to stumble into this
Fall off
office,
the truck.
I would not object.
So
Just saying.
so that might be one of the go-tos that I make
Yeah.
fairly often.
I love that. All right, one word to describe yourself.
Different.
Ooh, that's different.
That is
Yeah.
different.
Different. I think different from everybody else, but different from myself from day to day.
Okay.
Like grow, change, adapt. I have for many years lived with 2 daughters, female dog, a female bunny, a girlfriend, her female dog, her
Her daughter.
her
Yeah.
daughter, and I have a sister and a mother. So I feel like in that situation you have to be adaptable.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
The aura and the stuff around you
Oh,
dictates
yeah.
a lot of times what you are.
will not hurt my feelings. I get it. We are a different breed, and
Yeah.
to be surrounded by us is just
So I think different, and I think I look back as I'm in my 50s. I look back and what I was at this point, and then what I was like literally the day my first daughter was born. I was different than what I was an hour before that. And then,
No question.
And then I was a girl dad, and then I was a second girl dad, and then I was a divorced dad, and then I'm in a relationship dad, and now I'm a college dad. So it's always
man. I should
It's always
introduce
a
you to
different
my
kind of
dad.
dad.
You've got a similar path. I mean, girl dads. I love being a girl. Like my dad is.
Odd man out here.
I know you are, but I'd still say you would have made an amazing girl dad.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's special.
It is very special. It was so funny, and I'm taking this.
Hey,
too long,
no,
but,
you're all good.
I was very nervous. We didn't know what we were having either time.
Yeah.
And I laid awake thinking, what happens if we have a girl?
Yeah.
The first time, I didn't know what to do. I could throw a ball. I could
Yeah.
do something with a boy. I could watch the movies. What would I do? And the second time,
Make her into a softball player.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, Bella.
the second time, my ex-wife was a little upset, and she's like, "I'm sorry, it's not a girl," and I was it's not a boy.
Yeah.
The second time, and I was like, "No way."
Yeah.
Being a girl dad, like my friends, including like Matt, would be like, "Did you see the Marvel movie?" And I'm like, "No,
No.
But Moana has been on a loop for 6 months.
Did you see the new Barbie that came out? Like
Oh my
she's
God.
so pretty.
American Girl.
Yeah.
It's so.
Yeah.
I've been to
I'm
American Girl
sure
down
you have.
Museum in New York.
I will
Yeah.
never be there.
Right. I have been to the a hospital there where they fix
Oh
your
yes,
doll.
yes.
But I can sing every one of those movies. I know all the parts. I've
love-
played the parts
Yep.
as we play
Jeez.
it out at home.
Yep.
Wow.
So, but I don't know any of the male stuff, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Have you
about
done like the barrettes and the hair
Oh.
and like the fake makeup and
it. I
stuff?
could show you pictures.
Oh, my dad was the best with that. He was a volunteer firefighter for 40 plus years, and he used to go to fire calls with like barrettes in his hair and the stick-on earrings, and like the guys would be like,
What the?
"What?" And he goes, "They were having a ball. They were quiet. It was fine."
Yeah.
And he'd just roll in the fire truck, looking
they've-
like a pretty
They've
princess.
done all that.
I
They've
love
done
it.
all the hair. They've done all even with this, they've done the hair.
I love it.
They've colored the beard. They've
Nice.
done the nails.
Yep.
Angelina, my Gina's daughter, a few years ago, Elf on the Shelf painted my toenails
Oh,
while I was
geez.
sleeping.
Oh, man.
You know, we've done all.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
There's no shame. There's no shame. In
no.
parenting.
Why should there be any shame? That's
No.
that's being a great dad.
Being a great dad.
Yeah.
I
And
think that's
we can shout out to dads of all flavors.
Yes.
Boys, girls, whatever, it doesn't matter.
I will say this all the time. Dads are a special breed. There's just something special about you guys that you just, no matter the situation, you just jump in full force. Like, no questions.
What are you going to do?
You just do it.
You gotta.
Moms are the ones that always ask, like, all the questions. The dads are like, let's write it down. Like, that's just how your mind works, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's absolutely true.
It's so, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen both of you do it, where you're just like, all right, let's go. Like, no questions.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
You're just
straight into
the mouth of the beast.
I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So we're going to wrap up real quick. If you had to give one piece of advice to people, any legal advice at all, what would you give?
call.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah.
Don't wait and think it's going to resolve itself or that you can talk your way in or out of it. Most of the time, the fee, if there's any fee, is going to be so much less than the litigation that's going to be as a result of it. You're going to say or do the wrong thing. You're going to email or mail the wrong thing, and it's going to be used to hang you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah.
Call.
Can't get
It's as
any
simple
easier
as
than
that.
that.
The answer's call.
And I'm going to make it super easy for you, because I'm actually going to put all of his contact information in this post. So you'll be able to call Chris and get in touch with him and make those arrangements anytime that you need anything. So we appreciate you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
awesome. Thank you, Michelle.
You're so
One more
welcome.
handshake, Chris. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And to all of you out there, thank you again so much for joining us on the latest episode of The Keychain. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.